Well, the moment they arrived, I was the only one that was not in their beds, and I heard some commotion in the front of the property, and so I peeked my head out the door. I actually thought it was going to be a wood chip truck. You know, we use thousands of pounds of trash, of recycled materials to cultivate our sustainable food production system, and wood chips are one of those things we save from the trash. So I was expecting it to be that. I poked my head out the door and I saw, you know, a bunch of fully battle-ready SWAT guys, you know, bulletproof shields, you know, assault rifles, sidearms, helmets, the whole get-up. And so, you know, I wasn't scared per se. You know, been preparing for that kind of a thing, really. But my immediate thought is, oh my God, you know, the children, you know, the mother and her children. And, you know, it's just, you know, fear has very little power over me. And I'm really ready to face whatever happens in my pursuit of my truth, in my walking path. There's just one weakness I have, one thing I can't fathom happening, and that's these children who have never been separated from their mother. And in a lot of places in the United States, that's actually very rare. But here, it's our normal day. We spend every day with our children. And you know, she's got a two-week-old child that was born here in our home, without a doctor, you know, without a midwife. And you know, that's my thoughts. So, you know, I immediately go upstairs, and you know, I wake a Nook up, and I say, you know, there's a full-on SWAT team here. There's nothing we can do. You gotta get ready. You gotta prepare yourself. You know, the only thing that matters is the children. You know, the best thing we can do is to be calm, to be present. You know, only bad things happen when, you know, when there's fear involved. Just so, you know, she's sleeping naked. You know, the children are on her breast, and you know, she gets up, puts on some clothes. You know, she's rattled. You know, she's definitely scared. And you know, taking deep breaths, and you know, we hear from the bottom of the stairs, you know, shouts from at least one, if not multiple, what I assume to be, you know, SWAT team members. And you know, they're basically saying, you know, let us know how many people there are. If there's anybody, you know, call out. We need to know where people are, you know, blah, 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 blah. So I call out before I let them see me. You know, I'm up here. You know, there's children up here. There's a mother with her children, you know, a 2-week-old child. And they're like, you know, come down with your hands up, and so, you know, of course I have my hands up. I walk real slow, you know, not even to the edge of the stairs, but to where I can see them and they can see me, you know, probably my upper torso of my body. You know, I'm in my standard, you know, Garden of Eden summer, you know, attire, which is a pair of, you know, silk boxers. And you know, I have my hands up and I'm just like, you know, there's children here, just, you know, we don't have any weapons, we're not going to fight you, there's no problems, no resistance, there's children here, it's the only thing that's important to me, just, you know, be calm. They're like, you know, come down. So, you know, I'm walking down real slow, you know, just like, you know, it's all fine. I get down, you know, a couple guys grab me, put my hands behind my back, put handcuffs on, escort me to the room. Well, one of the huge discrepancies that we have, and not just with this particular incident, but one of the big discrepancies that I have, that I am observing and documenting all throughout the country, is, unidentified, arrests, searches, seizures, violence, force, threats from public servants. So, all of us, not all of us, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us are, in that room in there. And when I first come in, after I take a couple breaths, in my handcuffs, everyone else is in their handcuffs. One of the immediate things I asked the SWAT guy in his full battle gear with a mask and helmet on is, I need to see a warrant. And not only do they not show a warrant, but supposedly it's not even on site. Well, we don't have it yet, we'll show it to you later. Well, warrants need to be presented on site. Warrants need to be presented on site, especially to the landowner, especially to the individuals that are named on that warrant. So I was handcuffed for around 2 hours and I never saw a warrant. Never saw a single warrant. Now they did wind up presenting one, but they wound up kidnapping me for supposedly some warrant, which I also didn't get to see, for some unpaid traffic violation that is yet to be seen if that's valid or not either. So I didn't get to see that warrant. I didn't get to see a warrant for why they were on the land. I didn't get to see a warrant for why they came in with a SWAT team, why they were here at all. We did wind up finding out later that they had 2 warrants, and one warrant was for, drug trafficking. We actually have copies of the warrants here if you want to look at them, but it lists many things, including, many marijuana plants at different stages of growth, processed and divided and packaged and ready amounts of marijuana for distribution, grow lamps and fertilizers and hydroponics and packaging and weighing and shipping materials and data banks and logs, and they had a warrant as though we were a fully fledged drug narcotics operation, and they were here to search and or seize any of that. And on the back of the warrant, after they left, it has a signature which we don't know who it was by, but that was for nothing seized. Items seized, none. So they didn't present the warrants. Almost nobody throughout the entire day, and there was at least 50 public servants here, didn't identify themselves. In fact, lots of them were hiding their badges, covering up their name tags, going like this with their face, like directly not answering our questions. I mean, we demanded as free people. We demanded as free people. Identify yourself, your name, your badge number, your oath of office. Why are you here? That's part of the job. That's their oath of office. Well, I wasn't here, so my account is more from what I've heard from others here. But they had 2 different warrants. So they had one for the narcotics trafficking, the drug trafficking, and the SWAT team was gone once they secured the premises. We didn't feel very secure. They left. They had another warrant which was for fire hazard and crap like that. It was Code Compliance Office, and they were here till 5, and they destroyed our plants, our crops. They stole our harvested, salvaged, sustainable materials for various important uses around the land and our life. So I guess they found what they wanted there. They didn't make any apologies. They never once said, "Oh, sorry, we made a mistake. Sorry, we treated you like criminals. Sorry, we treated you like drug lords. Sorry, we took the mother away from her 2-week-old child. Sorry." They never made any apologies. No honor, no respect. You know, like mistakes are a part of life. Mistakes are a part of life and we all make them. Every single one of us. And, you know, it's not comfortable to make a mistake, especially in the face of others, and to be held accountable to those mistakes, but that's how we grow, and that's what honorable men and women do, which is take responsibility and be accountable for those mistakes. And there's been no accountability. The main purpose of Garden of Eden is to live the Garden of Eden life, the perfect life. You know, we're all different. Every one of us is different. We all have different desires. We all have different passions. We're all creatively inspired differently. And the purpose isn't necessarily to conform and be the same and fit into a box. So we don't all have to do the same thing. So our purpose is to, number one, love being alive, to enjoy our life, to be happy, to be healthy, to be in harmony with the land, you know, to respect the land, to live sustainably, to consume less, you know, to, you know, need entertainment less, and to, you know, breathe deeply more, you know, live fully more, be with our family more, work less, play more. You know, those are the foundations, and we want to share that possibility with anybody. We want to share that with anybody who's interested in looking, because we see a lot of people who are unhappy, a lot of people who are sick, a lot of people who are overweight, a lot of people who are on drugs, a lot of people who are on, you know, TV and, you know, work and, you know, just constantly busy, and, you know, it is possible. It is possible to have way more than enough of everything. It is possible to have way more than enough of everything. There is way more than enough of everything in this world. And lack, the story of lack, it does exist, but it doesn't have to. And it's really the belief and the power that's being given to that story of lack that keeps perpetuating it. Because we've proven time and time again, a really profound point for that is that there were men with guns here who were holding us under armed guard all day long. And we would ask them, you know, like, why are you doing this? You know, well, it's my job. You know, no questions asked, it's my job. I need to put food on the table. I've got a family to take care of. You know, I respect that. I understand that. You know, I'm providing for my family too. I'm just doing it differently. And my point is that we have way more than enough food, and our food's way healthier. It's way healthier than the food that people are getting by being paid to put guns to people's head. And we don't have to get it at a grocery store. We don't have to drive on petroleum to get it. You know, we get to grow it ourselves, and we get to enjoy it ourselves. We get to share it, and we feed a lot of people for free. We feed a lot of people for free. We say, hey, look, we've got an abundance. Come share in this. We take homeless people, you know, off the streets, and we give them shelter. We give them food. You know, abundance does exist, and we want to share it. The most important thing that I want people to begin to question for themselves, and also hear from me, is freedom. You know, because we call this, you know, country the land of the free. And it is true that once upon a time, this was the land of the free. You know, this was the most prosperous, the richest, the most powerful, the most exciting, the country that everyone wanted to be at. And the reason why it was thriving is because we had freedom. We had freedom. And you know, regardless of law, regardless of spirituality and God, if you just look at free market economy, all free market economies boom, they all thrive. And the more free market economies boom and thrive, eventually at some point in time, you know, the government begins to overtax and over-regulate and over-license and get too involved, suppress, and the economy drops. And that's proof of what freedom does. In freedom, people are creative, they're inspired, they're motivated, they're passionate, they get things done, they're innovative. When you don't have that, like communism, for example, you know, everyone gets paid the same thing. You know, there's no drive, there's no inspiration to have that innovation and those powerful things. So, freedom is really powerful, and this country was founded upon freedom. And now, that law still exists. That law still exists. We have to remember that that law still exists, but it's not being followed. It's not being followed. So the problem isn't the government. The government's not the problem. I'm not anti-government. I love the government. I love our country, and I love freedom. What I don't like, and what the problem is, and what I want people to start questioning, and what I want people to see, is what is freedom and what does that look like. So we the people have the power. We the people have the power. We the people have the power. It goes the people, it goes the government, and then it goes the public servants. Right? But right now, people are terrified. They're terrified of police officers. They're terrified of SWAT people. They're terrified of judges. They're terrified of all of these government officials. The government officials are 2 steps below the people. The government was created by the people for the people, and the public servants serve the people. Right? So we need to have public servants identify themselves. We need them accountable. Right? We need them to follow due process of law. We need them to honor their oaths of office. Research oaths of office. Research due process of law. Research the Bill of Rights. Very, very simple foundational stuff. Law doesn't have to be extremely complicated. It can be simple, and the simple parts of the law are the most profound and the most powerful. So question, and enforce the law. Only we can enforce our rights. Only we can enforce our rights. If we don't enforce our rights, we don't have any rights. Because rights cannot be given. Rights cannot be given. Period. Rights are inalienable. And you either claim them, you embody them, you live them from an empowered perspective, or you don't have them.
I was lying in bed. I had been in bed for about an hour. And I heard some commotion, and so I rolled out of bed and just instinctively just put on my nightgown that was next to the bed, as I heard a real loud boom and a shouting of police. And before I knew it, like within a split second, there was someone in my room, a man with a black outfit on. I couldn't remember exactly what his face looked like, but he had a gun in his hand, and he grabbed me, got me to the ground, said he wasn't going to hurt me, didn't want to hurt me, but he just wanted to secure the premises. He kept asking me how many people were here, how many people were here, how many people were here. And I just asked him, give me a moment, just to breathe. And then I'll let you know, I want to answer you honestly. So I counted the people that were here and told him there were 8 adults and 2 children. He had me handcuffed on the ground, to which he frisked me, rolled me one side, rubbed me up one side, rolled me over and did the other, and then took me out of my room and my space into the place where everybody else was already sitting handcuffed except Quinn and Anouk. Well, the truth is they didn't tell us anything what they were looking for. They showed up here, we asked for oaths of office, we asked for a warrant. We knew what our rights are, and to look for a warrant, exactly what we needed to see. They told us that it was not here and that we would see it in due time. So they kept us all handcuffed, sitting on the floor together. We asked them for their names, for their oaths of office. We asked them, to identify themselves, to which none of them did. They looked around and, stared off into space so as not to, be able to connect eye to eye. And, they never did tell us why they were here. They just kept telling us that we'll see the warrant whenever it came, and other than that, they didn't give us any specific information. One of the most amazing things for me at the Garden Meeting is to hold space for the children so that they have a place to grow up healthy and happy and alive around people who love them. To not be encumbered by our ideas of what they're supposed to be, and to allow them to eat the freshest food on the planet. They know how to grow it themselves. We have a child here who's not even 2 yet, who knows which weeds are weeds, what basil is, where chicken eggs come from, and she helps with everything. She knows how to use cob building. This is a child who's involved in everything, and very contrary to the way that most people treat their children, which is, go sit down, I'll give you something to eat, and get your stuff together and go to school, do these things, and to make things comfortable so that the parent can get on with their life. And we're all about the children, to hold space for them, to be free, and to really live a healthy life with people they love them. I think they need to be aware that this is something that happened to us unwarranted, that this is something that, for no reason did they enter. And if they can enter in people who are very peaceful and loving and caring with each other, this can happen to anyone. And it is, in fact, happening to a lot of people. Since this incident happened, we've had a bazillion people get in touch with us to let us know some of the things that have happened to them, and they're incensed and outraged. And just to let them know that we're all in this together. It is not, this is not something that happened to the Garden of Eden. This is something that happened to all of us. And the truth is that we're doing it to ourselves by participating in it, by allowing it to happen and not standing up and saying that it's not right.
But my friend came in, and my friend Amadi came in and said, the police are here. So I put a shirt on and I walked out, and then, it was a man in black with a gun standing there, face mask, ushering us into the next room, and it's just full of SWAT. They started handcuffing us, no warrant, no nothing. They didn't say anything, just we're here, and they start putting us in cuffs. Which that alone, that's an unlawful arrest, No identification, they wouldn't tell us who they were or why they were here. No warrant on site. Pretty basic, I mean.
Did you ask any individual questions or like?
Yes.
I
asked them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I asked them for a delegation of authority order, oath of office, identification badge number, oath of office, and to which got no response. We all asked questions and they responded to none of them. They either pretend they didn't hear us, or they look off into space, or they'd answer no questions, or they'd ask us questions and, we asked them and they give no response.
Okay, and what is it that they said they were looking for?
They didn't say they were looking for anything. They didn't say anything when they showed up, until maybe we were in cuffs over an hour and they served a warrant, and then they said, afterwards when they took us out of cuff, they say they were looking for, they said they were here for code compliance, and then they showed us a warrant about a grow operation and marijuana distribution. But no one individually said anything until we got outside. Well, they said they were here for code compliance, but when the warrant showed up, it said something completely different. They had two different ones, which said they were here for marijuana grow operation and distribution, drug trafficking, which was completely preposterous. Say there's marijuana in our garden, and then they have there's no marijuana seized. They seize nothing. They have a warrant for this, and they seize nothing from the warrant. There are small children here, and I like to facilitate a good environment to make sure that, there's awareness and that they're learning and growing, not by themselves. I do work in the garden and around, but mainly I like to help people, and help to push the awareness and let people know that we're here and, what we're doing, and sustainability practices and growing, natural food instead of every time you need something, you have to go to the store. If I want something, you just go outside, go to the garden, get something to eat. I feel the public needs to be aware that, this situation, it didn't just happen to us, but it happens to people every day, and that it's not right. Not the fact that, some people just say it's a law, but, we didn't harm anybody, we didn't hurt anybody, we didn't infringe on anybody's rights. We're not doing anything to anybody. We're building with nature, building within nature and healing the planet. So I feel people need to be aware of that, and that we all play a role, whether you feel you do or not, we all play a role in healing the planet and stopping pollution and stopping injustices. This stuff happens daily, and it's not right.